Welcome you all to this new lesson of circuit theory. Today we'll be discussing about superposition theorem. In last few classes we discussed about nodal analysis, mesh analysis, current divider rule, voltage divider rule, Kirchhoff's laws. All those which are being discussed till now are aiming towards determination of current through a particular branch or voltage across a particular branch. Now, all these network analysis methods which we earlier discussed are aiming towards solving an electric network. Superposition theorem also serves the same purpose. Under this module, we'll be discussing about different network theorems such as superposition theorem, Norton theorem, Thevenin's theorem. All those theorems will be aiming towards solving an electric network. So why superposition theorem is to be studied? The first aim or target is to determine current through or voltage across a particular branch or solve any electrical network. Mostly superposition theorem we should apply in those circuits which are having multiple sources. So multiple source circuit, that means a circuit having more than one source, could be applied with superposition theorem to solve that network. So let us first discuss what are the topics to be discussed. First we'll be discussing about the statement. Later the statement will be explained with the help of few steps, and then we'll validate the statement or explanation part by solving some numericals. So this is the statement. For this statement, see, current flowing through a particular branch of a multiple sourced active linear bilateral circuit is the algebraic sum of all currents flowing through that branch, considering each source separately or acting alone, with all other sources replaced by their internal impedances. So what does it mean? This theorem is applied to determine current flowing through a particular branch. In which circuits this theorem is mostly suitable? A circuit having multi-source, that means more than one source. The circuit has to be active, that means superposition theorem will be applicable in active circuits only. Active circuit means what? We earlier discussed the circuits which are having some energy sources are active circuits, such as a circuit consisting of voltage source or current source will be treated as an active circuit. Linear means there should not be any non-linear elements such as diode. Similarly, bilateral, it has to be bilateral circuit. Superposition theorem will only be applicable in bilateral circuit. That means diode based circuit could not be applied with superposition theorem straight away. So current flowing through a branch of multi-source active linear bilateral circuit is algebraic sum of all the currents flowing through that branch, considering each source separately. Suppose you have two sources. You are going to find current through a particular branch. What you need to do, you have to consider each source separately, and you have to find current through that particular branch. Now, what should be the total current flowing through that particular branch, considering all the sources together? That could be found by making algebraic sum of all the currents. So when we are considering one source at a time, rest of the sources should be replaced by their internal impedances or should be deactivated. So let us discuss the statement with the help of some steps. See what is mentioned here. Consider each source separately. As we discussed in a statement that each source has to be acting alone. So we'll consider each source separately. Now, step 2 says, while considering one source at a time, replace all the other sources by their internal resistances or impedances, if any. If there is no internal resistance or impedance, the source has to be deactivated. So how can we deactivate a source? That we'll be discussing later. So first step is consider each source separately. Second step is, while considering one source at a time, all the other sources should be deactivated by their internal resistances. Now, if a voltage source or a current source is having no internal impedance, that means if the source is considered as ideal source, then in case of voltage source, replace that voltage source by a short circuit. In case of current source, replace that by an open circuit. For example, suppose this circuit is given to us. Now, for this circuit, see, there is one source, there is second source. One is voltage source, another is current source. Now, first step says consider each source separately. So let us consider source 1 alone. So when considering source 1, we have to deactivate the other source, source 2. Now source 2 is a current source. No internal impedance is mentioned here. So current source should be replaced by an open circuit. While considering one source at a time, replace all the other sources. How to replace the other sources? Current source should be replaced by an open circuit. That is why we have kept these two terminals open. So these two terminals are kept open. So by considering first source, we'll find current through these branches first. Next, see, now we'll consider second source alone. At that time, 6 volt source has to be deactivated. So we'll consider second source alone. At that time, the 6 volt source, that is voltage source, is replaced by an open circuit, as no internal impedance is mentioned here. So it is replaced by a short circuit. So now due to this source, we have to find current through these two branches. Okay, so what we did, we considered each source separately. While considering one source alone, other source is deactivated by their internal impedances, if any. If there is no internal impedance, then voltage source is to be replaced by short circuit, current source is to be replaced by an open circuit. Next step, find current through or voltage across a branch considering each source separately. So when we considered 6 volt source alone, deactivating the current source from these two terminals, what we need to do? We need to find current through each branch separately. So by applying KVL in this loop, what will be KVL equation? 8 plus 4, 12 I1 minus 6 equals to 0. So I1 equals to 0.5 ampere. So what should be V1? See, in the question, we are asked to determine, say, this V, that is voltage across 4 ohm. So while considering first source, we'll assume that this voltage is V1. So this V1 is found to be, I1 current is 0.5 ampere. So V1 equals to 4 into I1, that is 2 volt. Okay. Similarly, we'll consider the second source alone. While considering the second source, at that time, what should be current through this path? We'll apply simple current divider rule. So current through this path is I3, as mentioned here. So I3 equals to what? Total current 3 into, which one is opposite resistance? 8 ohm is opposite resistance, divided by 8 plus 4, sum of the resistances. So I3 is 2 ampere. So V2 is 4 into 2, that is 8 volt. Now, when considering both the sources, this is the actual circuit, this is V. So what should be V? V should be algebraic sum of V1 and V2. Now V1 and V2 both are having plus minus or polarity at the same terminals. Plus minus terminals are same for both the cases. That is why these two voltages will be added and finally you'll get 10 volt. So the summary is first we have to consider each source separately. We have to find current through a particular branch which is asked in the question, and that current will be the current flowing through a particular branch considering each source separately. Now, while considering all the sources together, current through a particular branch will be algebraic sum of all the currents. This is known as superposition theorem. Now let us solve this problem. Find current through the coil. Find current through this coil. What is current through this coil? This is a simple circuit. See, first we will consider each source separately. So there are two current sources. So first we will consider any one current source. At the same time, this current source is deactivated by an open circuit. So what is the current? What is the current path? No current through this path, no current can flow as it is opened. So no current can flow through this path. But the entire current, 100 angle 0 milliampere, entire current will be flowing like this. Okay. So what can we say? Due to 100 ampere, 100 angle 0 degree milliampere source alone, current through the coil will be 100 angle 0. Similarly, while considering the second source, the first source has been deactivated by an open circuit as it is a current source. So now the current will come through this path. Through this path, as it is open, through this path, no current can flow. So the entire current will be flowing through this. So now through L, 30 angle 90 milliampere current will be flowing. So now see, through L, for first case, through L current is flowing in downward direction. For second case, current is flowing in the same direction. So these two currents will be added. If currents are flowing in opposite direction, then current would have been subtracted. So IL1 plus IL2, IL1 is 100 angle 0 and IL2 is 30 angle 90. Now 100 angle 0 is 100 milliampere. See, as we are adding these two quantities, as I discussed during AC circuit calculation, when we are adding two quantities, those quantities should not be in polar form. So as these are mentioned in polar form, so we have converted these two polar forms into rectangular form first. This is converted into rectangular form. This is converted into rectangular form. Then we have made the addition and finally we have represented it polar form. Okay. Now for this problem, see there are again multi-source. So superposition theorem can easily be applied. Now for this multi-source, we are asked to find current I through this 8 ohm. So let us consider 8 volt source alone for the first time. So while considering 8 volt source, the circuit will look like this. Now see here, this voltage source, 6 volt source is shorted. This 2 ampere source is opened. This is 8 volt source. This is 6 ohm. This is 2 ohm. And this is 8 ohm. So what is current through this path? What we're going to find current through 8 ohm. So suppose this current is I1. So what would be value of I1? All these resistances are connected in series. So I1 will be 8 divided by 6 plus 2, 8 plus 8, 16. So I1 will be 0.5 ampere. Okay, so I1 we have found due to 8-volt source alone is 0.5 ampere. Clear? Now let us consider the next case. Let us consider 2 ampere source. Let us consider the 2 ampere source. While considering 2 ampere source, 8 volt will be deactivated by short circuit. There is 6 volt, 6 ohm. There is 2 ohm. This 2 ampere source. There is 8 ohm. And again 6 volt is shorted. Now, this is 2 ohm. This is 2 ampere. This is 8 ohm. We are going to find this current I. Say this is I2. Due to this 2 ampere, say this kind is I2. This is 6 ohm, 8 volt and 6 volt are shorted together. So what will be the current through current flow path? A current will be flowing from 2 ampere like this. A current will be flowing through this path. A current will be flowing through this path and return back to this. Another path current flow is this will be the another current flow path. So the main current 2 ampere is divided into 8 ohm, 6 ohm path and a 2 ohm path. So I2 can be written as total current is 2 ampere multiplied by the 2 ampere current is flowing through 8 ohm and 6 ohm together. So 8 and 2 are in series. Which one is opposite resistance? 2 ohm. Parallel resistance is 2. So 2 by 16. 8 plus 6 plus 4. 2. That is 0.25. 0.25 ampere. So I2 is found through 8 ohm. Through 8 ohm, these two currents are flowing from left to right. Okay. Now let us consider the last case. For last case, 6 volt will be considered. So what we shall do here? 6 volt will be considered. This is 8 ohm. This is 2 ohm. 2 ampere is opened. This is 6 ohm. So what will be the current? Current will be through this path. This is I3. So what is I3? 6 divided by 16. So 3 by 8. Okay, so I3 will be I3 is flowing from left to right, sorry, from right to left. So what is the concluding remark here? Now see, as per superposition theorem, what should be current I? I should be, I is shown in which direction? Right, left to right. So I1, I2 are left to right, I3 is right to left. So I will be I1 plus I2 minus I3. I3 is in opposite direction, so this should be minus. That is why we have mentioned algebraic sum. Direction has to be considered. So 0.75 minus 0.375. So this would be the answer. Okay. So this is how we can get solution for electric network using this superposition theorem. Let us move to next problem. Now see, for this problem, see, this is Vx and this is dependent current source, voltage dependent current source having 0.1 Vx magnitude. Now, first what shall we do? We'll consider each source separately. We are going to find Vx. So while considering 10 volt source alone, the circuit will look like this. This is 0.1 Vx. Let us assume due to this source alone, due to this 10 volt source alone, let us assume this Vx as Vx dash. So this should also be Vx. This point should also be Vx dash. Okay. This is 20 ohm. This is 4 ohm. Now see, 2 ampere is withdrawn. As we are considering one source at a time, so 2 ampere is replaced by a short circuit. So what should be Vx dash here? See, if we apply KCL at this point, 10 minus Vx dash divided by 20. That is current through this path. Okay. Suppose current through this path is this, through this current is flowing. So this is incoming current considered as positive. So outgoing current should be considered as negative. So minus Vx dash as per nodal analysis by 4 plus 0.1 Vx. Okay. So from this we can find Vx dash. Vx dash can be found out from this. Similarly, what shall we do? We'll consider 2 ampere source alone. This 2 ampere source. This is 20 ohm. 10 volt source will be shorted as we are considering 2 ampere source now. Now again, what can we do? This is Vx now. This point is having, say, Vx double dash. Due to 2 ampere source, this is Vx double dash. So this should be 0.1 Vx double dash. This is 4 ohm. This is 2. So 2 is entering, suppose this current is this. 2 entering, suppose this is leaving. So what will be the KCL equation at this point? 2 entering plus 0.1 Vx double dash. 2 entering 0.1 Vx double dash is entering equals to Vx double dash by 4 plus Vx double dash by 20. So from this Vx double dash can be found. Now what should be Vx? Vx double dash plus Vx. So this is how we can apply superposition theorem to solve any complex electrical network with independent source, multiple sources, dependent, independent, both sources. Anything can be solved by superposition theorem. So the steps involved in superposition theorem is, first step is, if there are multiple sources, consider each source separately. While considering one source, replace all the other sources. Voltage source should be replaced by their internal impedance or short circuit. Current sources should be replaced by by an open circuit. Find current through a particular branch considering each source separately, and then make the algebraic sum. This is how you can follow superposition theorem steps to solve any electrical network. So in next class, we'll be discussing about Thevenin's theorem. So as of now, we are ending up here. Thank you all for your patience hearing.